He is one of the stars of 13 Reasons Why on Netflix. Season 3 debuted way back on August 23rd. He's the man who plays Zach Dempsey in 13 Reasons Why. Good to see Ross Butler here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. We just watched that clip, and
yes,
yeah, it's because we were talking about Ohio State, and I'm a football player in the show,
right?
And at Ohio State, we got the Buckeyes. I heard you're a Michigan
I'm a Michigan man. Yes, I am a Michigan man.
I don't know.
So I do have a couple of questions for you on Ohio State. But you play a football guy,
I play a football
right?
player. On TV, I play a lot of sports, but I actually don't play any of them in real life.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I've played pickup football a couple of times.
Okay. How are you throwing? I mean, can you throw one very well? I mean,
yeah, I could throw. In the second season, I think I had to play baseball, but I was a catcher, so I didn't have to actually throw the baseball. But,
okay.
But for football, yeah, I can throw.
Okay.
I got an arm. I got to warm up a little bit, unless you put me on the spot.
No. Because I bring that up because the actor Robbie Amell was seen throwing in a very odd motion, and I don't know what film this was, but he got lit up on Twitter for it. Absolutely lit up. And I defended him by saying that there's cameras all over the place and lights, and you have no idea what's behind the camera. Very expensive equipment.
Yeah,
he's probably like half throwing.
Yeah, and it could just be an unconventional form. You know.
There it is, right here. Here's what Robbie just got totally lit up for. That.
All right.
It's not great.
Well, okay. So what I'll say is, being a sports player on TV, it's usually there's someone right behind camera that's going to catch the ball for you.
Yes.
And you don't want to peg it at their face.
Correct.
And they can't stand too far back because you don't know how your accuracy is. So
Ross,
you know.
Correct.
Robbie, I got your back. That was.
You initially thought, okay, I understand why.
It's just the follow. There was no follow through. The pullback was great, but he just couldn't. He couldn't go for it.
You see what Ross just did? He just gave you 13 reasons why.
Okay,
we shouldn't get on Robbie Amell's case
all
right
there. Let's reel it in. Come on.
He just gave you those reasons why.
Yeah. Okay.
So
like two.
So let's get into. You went to Ohio State.
For a year. Yeah.
Now, where are you from originally?
I'm from D.C. or Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia. From that tri-state area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how did you get to Columbus?
They have a good engineering program.
Okay.
And, I grew up with a single Asian mother who was very academically driven for me, so I went for chemical engineering.
Okay.
Decided I hate chemistry and engineering. And so I dropped out.
So that's a terrible combination if you hate chemistry and engineering to be a chemical engineer.
Yeah,
right?
I thought I liked them until I actually did do real world applications of them. I thought chemistry was just mixing things together and seeing what exploded, and engineering was fixing that. But neither of them was for me.
So Ohio State, the Ohio State, my bad, the trademarked Ohio State University, they have a good chemical engineering program.
Yeah, they have I think top 10 in the U.S. for public schools.
Huh.
Yeah. But then I also don't like the cold, and I don't like snow.
So you are going to just move to Los Angeles, become an actor,
I dropped out and complete opposite
be
direction.
wildly successful before the age of 30.
Yeah.
Okay, so
cutting it close.
So how did you get out here to Los Angeles to start?
Honestly,
acting?
I decided to move on a Tuesday, and I moved out that Friday, and my mom wasn't happy about it.
Literally, you're sitting on the campus in Columbus, and you're like,
oh, no, I moved back home to D.C., and I was just trying to save up some money to live, I guess, just so I could eat.
Right.
And then a friend of mine connected me with another friend in L.A., and my friend in L.A. was like, yeah, just come out. You should try it. On a Tuesday, I talked to them, and Friday I moved out. And I took my first acting class when I turned 21. And
here in Los Angeles?
Yeah, here in LA. Yeah. And I just flipped it.
What was your first gig out here?
Playing a high school drug dealer who got into Stanford for a show called Major Crimes. It was like a one-time I was being interviewed, interrogated for selling drugs at my high school.
Okay.
And that was my first role.
So how'd you break that to your mom? Hey, guess what? I got a first gig.
Yeah. I didn't tell her about that one. I let her find out.
No, here's what you say. Mom, I'm playing a Stanford student.
Yeah, exactly.
And just leave it at that.
I need you to talk to my mom. I need you to sugarcoat everything. She's cool with it now, but I for a while I had to kind of get some credits before I told my mom that.
Okay, well, look, I mean, you clearly have gotten some credits.
Yeah,
and
we're getting there.
You are on a terrific show right now on 13 Reasons Why on Netflix. I've got Ross Butler here on the Rich Eisen Show. Why do you think this show works so well, do you think?
I think it works because you know, it portrays high school in a really real way, and everybody's been to high school. Everybody knows what high school is like. So I think it portrays it in a light that a lot of people don't usually talk about it, and about how we all carry a lot of psychological issues from high school, most of us.
Sure.
And so I think that's why it's like the demographics pretty wide. It's like, you know, we've had people come up to us anywhere from 15 years old to 40 years old, and it's I think it's just something that has been on everyone's mind. These are topics that's been on everybody's mind, but nobody talks about.
Well, obviously suicide, and then
suicide,
and then
depression,
and potentially causing a massacre in a school.
Yeah.
And now obviously season 3 right now. So these are very contemporary, serious issues.
And with this last season, we kind of elevated a little bit. I don't think there's, you know, all these issues going on, and obviously it is dramatized for TV.
Sure.
But it's, you know, but in the end, it's entertainment. But I think entertainment is kind of what leads culture. It's kind of how we get to talking about the things we need to talk about. So, I think it hit off because it's been on the tip of everybody's tongue for so long, these issues. So we're tackling them.
Are any sure, and expertly, I might add too. So, anything of your experience from your real high school? Are you?
No.
This is not at
Again,
all?
I didn't play football, or I wasn't a jock in high school by any means.
Okay.
I mean, of course, there's like the cliques, and there's like the popular kids, and these different archetypal characters that we see. But no, I mean, this is. But I feel like high school is so different because, you know, I'm 29.
Yes.
And I haven't been to high school for over a decade, so. I can see how things have changed with social media, and kids are they're going through a whole new world now.
I know. I've got 3 kids who are going to soon, you know, at least my oldest one is going to enter that, and I am quite honestly not looking very much forward to it. I'm not,
I mean, I don't blame you, but you know, it's tough. I think they're growing up a lot faster now than maybe when I was in high school.
So if you went back to your, what's your high school that you went to?
Langley High School.
Langley High School.
Yeah, right by the CIA.
So would that be, wow, is that right?
The backyard of the CIA. Yeah, like if you were driving towards my high school, there's like a driveway that drives into the CIA that a lot of people accidentally drive into. And every single time you go down there, it's like an hour process to get out because they're like, why have you come here? What are you trying to do?
Boy, that is just the worst wrong turn that you could possibly make.
Yeah, it really, it's like there's all these like guard posts and men with assault rifles, and it's don't go to that.
Yeah, that's the reason why I was late for class. Is, you know, I got stuck in this whole
I
web of
decided to make a stop by the CIA
security.
just kind of see what's going on with her.
So if you went back to Langley High right now, Ross Butler, would it be for like How Do You Like Me Now with some of your classmates?
No. I was kind of I was a weird kid, and I don't say that in a negative tone. I say that more of just like I was always hopping around these different social groups, and I wasn't really. I watched a lot of movies, and speaking of, I heard his favorite movie is You Got Mail.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, I
How
was
would
watching.
you have heard this?
Well, the word's gotten out, Chris. The word's gotten out.
Great. I enjoy You Got Mail.
it.
Not
By
my
the way,
favorite
Meg
movie.
Ryan, total babe.
Fantastic
Tom
in that
Hanks,
movie.
America's homeboy.
Yes.
You know, I would say like my guilty pleasure growing up when
Yes.
I was in high school. You know, have you seen 50 First Dates with
Adam
Sandler and Drew Barrymore?
Sure, that's it.
Now, I saw that maybe 6 times in theaters when that came out, and I don't know why. Maybe it was the Beach Boys soundtrack.
Or maybe you just like anything with a number in the title. Could be
Always
that.
just you're always bringing it back to the
Dude, isn't that? I mean, look, I think like you like to hang out here, maybe, but I mean, I know you're here to. I'm helping you
everything
promote
with a number in
your
the title.
show.
So everything with the sequel, John
Yeah.
Wick 2, John Wick 3.
Well, no, I think you like the numbers first. is what I'm
Numbers
saying.
first.
So
What's
50 First Dates, 101 Dalmatians. Did you like that movie as a kid?
27 Dresses.
You
I think you and I are on the same wavelength right
with
now.
you,
I think we
Ross.
just
Serious?
the rom-coms
I'm with you, buddy.
with a
Could be
good
that.
message. 27.
Just throwing that all out there. Just throwing it out there.
No. Well, I mean, I was just saying that because I was watching the interview before this with Whitney Cummings. Because I mean,
Yes.
to be honest, coming in because I know you're a big sports guy. I don't watch a ton of sports.
It's all good.
And I saw that Whitney literally came in with just
A
a
robot.
sex doll.
Yes,
a
she
sex,
did.
A sex robot.
Well,
so I'm
I
like,
mean,
I'm fine. If she's coming in with that, and you're talking about You've Got Mail, I'm
yeah,
fine.
of
We
course.
can.
I mean, and here
We're
I
good.
thought a former chemical engineer would bring his own robot, but I mean, you just came by yourself. That's
Well,
okay.
I was thinking. I don't even want to get into that. I'm on a teen show. I can't talk about sex.
It's all good.
I got to keep it under.
No, listen.
But talking about you got mail. That's such like an antiquated thing that I feel like kids now don't get why that was the name of a movie.
Dial-up internet.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. So yeah, when you used to dial into your computer to get your electronic mail,
right?
Yeah.
There was something called America Online that when you did connect via phone, it would say you've got mail.
You've got mail.
Right? And
there were these things called bookstores.
That's right.
Isn't that where they met in the movie? They met in a bookstore?
Yeah, because Meg Ryan's character owned this really small, like boutique, family-owned bookstore.
Which, by the way, was really in the real world eventually a cheese shop on the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
A cheese shop?
A cheese shop.
How about that?
Yeah, that's right.
So, whose favorite movies you got mail? It looks like
That
you
guy.
got. Well, no, it just seems like you got the trivia.
No, Ross Butler. I'm just an expert on everything. I'm just talking about him,
Okay.
and he does not like. So that's where you got it from, because Whitney Cummings brought it up.
she brought it up.
Because he go ahead, explain why you like the film. Go ahead, it's okay.
Yeah, guilty pleasure, I think, is the right phrase for it. But one weekend when I was a freshman in college, my mom came to visit me, surprised me. We went to saw that movie in the theater. So I'm very close to my mother, and so that kind of makes me think of her.
There you go.
All right, that's nice.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Although, did you hear
50 First Dates with my mom? But,
did you hear what Ross just did? He just went we on this show, we think when you go higher register, you don't really believe it. He just went, all right. Like, did you hear that?
I believe it. I believe that.
No, you just did it again right there.
I'm
Great actor.
I
great
believe
actor.
in Chris's relationship with his mom. That's
Great actor. Dave Chappelle was in that movie. That's all I need to say.
It's a great film. It
Chappelle.
really is in its own right. In its own right. Not even from Mama's Boy Theater. It's really in its own right.
Okay.
Before I let you go, sir, what can you tell fans of this show that have yet to sit down and stream it? What can you tell them about season 3?
Because I can imagine, I think your demographic may not naturally be drawn to the show.
No,
but
it's not that. I have 3 small children, and anything that happens after 9 o'clock at night makes me tired.
Okay. Well, thankfully it's on Netflix, so you don't have to watch it after
That's true.
9. But no, honestly, what I said before, it really does help break down the kind of, I think, the nervousness of talking about certain topics. Because, like I said, culture leads conversation, I think.
Yes.
And when you see something that you feel reflected on screen that you can't necessarily speak with your friends or your parents, it's hard to talk about because you don't have a guide. But if you can see people talking about it on TV or it being entertaining on TV, it helps start the conversation. And the analogy I use is watching a rom-com, watching these leading men, of how to talk to girls on a date or how to just talk with your friends. These are things that we use in our normal conversation every day.
Right.
So when you translate that over into topics that are harder to talk about, I think it's the same rule. I think speaking on it on TV, speaking about it in movies helps to show you how to do it in the right way.
Interesting. And that's how you can get it for season 3. Is there a season 4 already?
We are shooting season 4 now.
Right now?
Right now. We're shooting up in San Fran, and I flew down just for you, Rich.
Thank you, Ross.
Just to talk about all the things.
No, I appreciate that, man. And I feel like you really meant that because you were not higher register.
I actually sank down into it.
You did. I pick up on these things.
Playing mind games with you.
I pick up on these things. And you're also in an upcoming rom-com, as a matter of fact, To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You, which is coming out next February, correct?
Yes.
Who's in that one?
So Noah Centineo, Lana Condor. I can never pronounce her name, like Lana. It's Lana Condor.
Okay.
Condor.
Nice.
Condor. Anyway,
Yes.
I love them both, but it's that is a little bit lighter than 13 Reasons Why. I get to play people see a little bit more of my comedic side.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just play kind of like a jockey high schooler. I know it's new territory for me. I've never played a jock on TV in anything before.
Well,
it's maybe Chris, you might like it. That's all I'll say. You've got.
I'm there for you, buddy.
Is it something that he can take his mom to?
Well, you don't need to take her to it. You could watch it at home on Netflix.
There you go.
Make your own popcorn and give it a watch.
Very good.
I'm in.
Fantastic. Hey, man, thanks for coming on the show. Really
Pleasure.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
And if you notice that, if I didn't appreciate you coming on the show, I'm like, hey, man, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
Like that. I would have gone that.
Yeah. But you sank down.
I did.
And I can walk away knowing that Rich Eisen approves.
And it's funny how you, by the way, and did you also notice, because I pick up on all these things, he said that the show, 13 Reasons Why, might not be for what, my demographic? Is that what you said? Mm-hmm. Is that a way you call him? Did you call me an old man right there? In a very soft, very velvet way.
You have a very youthful look here. I think it's
my fresh cut.
All the sports you talk about.
Zeke Elliott signed with the Cowboys. It made me very happy. It's made me younger. But again, no, my kids, I might have mentioned at 9 o'clock at night and as a sleep, my kids usually go to sleep right then. I don't know if they're not ready for 13 Reasons Why. You're from other parts of your oeuvre, like Casey Undercover.
Yes.
Might be more in my house right now.
Talking about Casey.
Brother, I probably have seen you in many episodes of that in my household.
It's...
from your days.
Yeah. I mean, wow, that was... It's always a surprise when I have like a fan come up and they're like, "Oh, we love you so much from Casey Undercover." I'm like, "Oh, what?" Like that means they're OG fans. Like that was one of my first gigs ever. That's
OG
like,
KC.
Yeah, OG
like
KC.
It.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
There isn't a number in that, so
there
I can't
isn't.
say it. Yeah.
There isn't.
Yeah.
Ross, you're growing. Let's put it that way. At Ross Butler on both Twitter and Instagram. 13 Reasons Why can be streamed right now on Netflix. Season 3. Season 4 is being made right now. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, man.
Please, thank you.
Yeah.
You bet. That's Ross Butler right here.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.